Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first longer vlog of the year, I guess. The first thing you saw was a little short that I did. I was going to make a longer vlog where I just talked nonstop about 2025 and just everything going on and goals for this year and everything. And I was going to show you my 2026 journal because I make a new journal for every year. But my journal didn't get delivered in time. I ordered it in the very beginning of December, like December 3rd or something, so that it would be delivered to my mother's house before I left for Korea. And for some reason, it just didn't even ship out until way later than it should have. So it arrived after I had already left for Korea. So in January, it got to my mom's house. So I didn't get to do any of my usual journal stuff, and it still has not arrived in Korea because my mom had to take it and mail it to me here. So now it's going to take a couple more weeks before it gets here. So very sad. I feel like the year just did not start off right, mostly because of that. Partly because I was traveling. I did have like a slow start to the year just because I had to immediately kind of get on a plane and fly back to Korea right after New Year's Eve. So obviously that made it so that I guess like I couldn't really like see a ton of people before I left because there was New Year's Eve and I actually was just very tired, kind of weak that day. So I didn't do what I originally planned, which was to go to my brother's house and have a little party there. I just stayed home and chilled with my mom, which was actually great. I enjoyed it and I liked chilling there, and she made some of my favorite little like snacks and stuff for New Year's Eve. So that was nice and the kids had fun. But then the next day I like really had to rush packing. I was struggling with packing. We ended up with 6 suitcases and 3 carry-ons and then like a bag that I was using as my purse. So lots and lots of bags. Luckily, I had a friend who came to pick us up from the airport and drive us home because we don't have a car. So she has one. So she was nice enough to come and get us and bring all 6 of our suitcases and 3 carry-ons back to our apartment. But it just was stressful. It was a stressful start to the year, just having to pack everything up, get on a plane, fly the many, 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 many hours back to Korea, and then just deal with jet lag and the kids having jet lag and unpacking all of those suitcases. We still have a couple of suitcases that are not fully unpacked yet. And the rest of them are just taking up my room right now. I just have not had a chance to like catch up on anything, and it's already almost halfway through January. So, yeah, it just does not really feel like a fresh start to the year, which I'm a little disappointed in, but we'll figure it out. I will talk more about it later, but right now we are actually getting ready to go out. Since I've been back, there were a couple of dinners I wanted to have. I wanted to go out to a Korean barbecue place that I like, eat some samgyeopsal. What else did I want? I wanted like fried chicken and beer, which is funny because in the US I hate most chicken. I don't even like fried chicken. I will eat the crispy skin off of a lot of fried chicken, I guess, but I don't really like the chicken. Here, though, I like the Korean fried chicken. So I wanted that. What else? There were just a couple random things I wanted to eat. And now we're kind of getting to one of our last things I wanted to have, which was lamb skewers. I don't know why I kept thinking about it, but I did. I've just been wanting to eat it. So we're going to go eat that tonight and just chill, have a good night. So I will talk to you later about the disaster that 2025 was and what I'm doing to get ready for this new year that is already here. Like, I can't get ready anymore. We're in it, but you know what I mean. So I will talk to you later about that. But right now, we're kind of running late. I should already be ready to go. this day was also a little bit crazy. I woke up and Solar had a problem with her eye, so I had to go to the doctors with the kids all by myself, take them there, get medicine, force Solar to have her medicine. She's okay, like taking normal medicine, but it was eye drops and she hated it. I'm gonna have to do it one more time before we leave, I think. So preparing myself for that. And I had already kind of changed into comfy clothes, got myself all comfy, and then Q was like, actually, we can go out to dinner. So I'm like, all right, I won't complain. I already got ready today, so I might as well also go out for dinner. I just need to put regular clothes back on. But yeah, we are probably going to be a little late if I don't hurry out the door soon. So I will talk more later. It's cold. Super cold. All right, everyone, it's been a couple days since I talked to you. Today is kind of a good day, I guess, because we're on our way to my first appointment in Korea for MS. I'm going to meet with a neurologist, and hopefully everything goes okay, and hopefully they are a nice doctor and somebody I can stick with. So let's get going, see what happens. I still have to walk a little ways to get to where I need to go, but yeah. I'm excited to finally get this first doctor's appointment out of the way. Okay, we're all done. Although I'm gonna have to explain later. There's too much to talk about and we're on our way to eat right now. Also, it's getting late, it's cold, the kids are going crazy, they're tired. We were at the hospital for a very long time. I think we got there at like 3 and it's like 6 p.m. now. I don't know. We were there for a while and not a very good visit. I'm kind of annoyed. So I will have to get my thoughts together and talk about it later. But pretty much couldn't do anything today. Can't really do anything for a while, I think. I don't know. Probably have to redo like every test I've had so far. So kind of annoying. It's getting loud, sorry. I'm gonna go eat now and I will talk to you more about it later. Hello, everyone. It's a couple days later. I'm getting ready to go out, but I wanted to sit down and chat because I did promise that we would chat. I should have done this in the beginning of the video, but I said we would talk about 2025, talk about the beginning of 2026, and maybe catch you up on the doctor's appointment that I had here in Korea. Let's start with 2025. I mean, what the hell was that? What was that? Oh my God. It started off bad because usually in the beginning of the year, it feels like a new year. And I love that. I'm so excited for a new year. I have my new journal. I get to write down all my goals for the year. I do a bunch of trackers that I'm really excited to fill out. And I don't know, I usually crush it in the beginning of the year. Like I am ready to go. Last year, beginning of the year, did not feel like a new year. I believe I mentioned it in multiple videos in the beginning of last year. I was like, this does not feel like a brand new year. I am not motivated at all. It just felt weird. The energy was off. And just a couple weeks into the new year, unfortunately, I lost my father. That affected me for the rest of the year, still affecting me. Even maybe lost like a friendship or two just from people not understanding that. It was like people expected me to be over it in like 3 days. And when I wasn't, it was like, seriously, you're still thinking about that or you're still sad? Like, yeah, I'm sad. Screw you. Like, what? Why would I be over that in like a day? I don't know. Maybe they don't have good relationships with their parents, which I get. Sometimes you don't. But like, to put that on me just was unfair. And yeah, I don't know. And then just there was so much to deal with, a few not so great friendships, just a lot of like random issues going on. And then I did manage to go visit my mom in the US for quite a while. You saw like 5 months. But even that was sad because originally I was supposed to go in the summer of 2025. And my dad was making lots of plans. We were going to go swimming in the pool all the time. He was going to do like a big kind of barbecue. And we were really excited. So when I got there and it was summer, I was very sad still because I was like, I don't get to do this with my dad. That's very upsetting. Still enjoyed my time with my mom. We did have a good time in the US. I enjoyed seeing all my family. But then, as you know, I did a 5-mile race. And after the race, I had some issues where I was falling down, couldn't balance. So I went to the hospital and they, after quite a while, diagnosed me with MS. So that was just a surprise. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if like they called it a relapse when you suddenly have all these MS symptoms. And a lot of people have that form of MS. Like you can have like a constant kind of form, or there's like a relapse one where you're okay for months or even maybe like a year or two, and then something makes you have a relapse. I don't know. It could be stress. It could be that you didn't rest your body enough when you were feeling fatigued. Some people just get overheated and you have this relapse and it triggers all the symptoms to come back. And I guess that's what happened to me, even though I had never known I had MS before, didn't really know I had any symptoms before. Although now looking back, I guess I can point out a few things where I'm like, oh, that was probably a symptom, but I wrote it off as something else. Like I was just tired or I had mom brain or whatever was going on. So yeah, they were like doing that race, you probably overheated, stuff like that. And it just triggered this relapse. So I was in the hospital for a little while. They wanted to keep me, but they let me go because I had that trip to Ireland, which again, amazing trip. So glad I went. There were parts of 2025 that were good, like getting to visit my family, getting to go on this Ireland trip, amazing. But there were also issues even in the good parts, like I visit my family, but my dad's not there. and I get diagnosed with MS. I go on this Ireland trip, but I was still having trouble with my left side, specifically my left leg. Was like limping a little bit, getting fatigued really easily. So there were times where I had to just go back to the hotel, lay down, rest. Maybe couldn't do everything I wanted to do. So that sucked, but still amazing that I got to go. I'm really happy that I did that. And beautiful, beautiful place. Oh my God, Ireland was gorgeous. And the places we saw, amazing. I can't talk about it enough, but I don't know. It just was like a very stressful year. Never felt like a fresh slate like a new year does. Never really got motivated or on top of things. I feel like every time I tried to push myself to be motivated or to do some things that I needed to do, something else would happen that was bad. And I just, oh my God. Even like book club had some issues with like book club and just, I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't, just nothing was going right last year. Not one thing. I mean, it was just so stressful. And then in the beginning of this year, I was excited for it to finally be that fresh start, that new year feeling. I was so excited to finally have that. And it's hard to explain because it's different. Like it still doesn't feel like a new year. There's still something a little off, but it's not as bad as it was last year. I think the issue was that I was in the US in the very beginning of the year until like January 3rd, and then I had to fly back to Korea. So that kind of made it feel like I couldn't get started on anything yet because I was about to be traveling back to Korea. And then when I got here, we had jet lag. I had to unpack all the suitcases. We still have a mess to deal with here. And it's currently like January 18th or something. And I still have stuff to take care of. So just never, I just never got to get going on the new year. Like we flew back here, had to unpack. Everything's still a mess. I'm still trying to like get my brain wrapped around the fact that we're back in Korea. And, today's my first day really going out and doing anything that would, I guess, restart things. Like it's our first book club meeting of the year, which I will show in the next vlog, I think. But yeah, it's been difficult catching up. And I had an issue with my journal. I ordered my journal in the beginning of December so that it would definitely be delivered by the end of December and I could get it all set up and ready to go, maybe journal a bit on the airplane on the way to Korea. And they didn't deliver it. They ended up not delivering it until after I got back here into Korea. So over a month later. And so then my mom had to ship it to me here. And that takes a few weeks. And she shipped it. It finally got on the plane to Korea, got all the way to Korea, and then they sent it back to the US, which has happened a couple times for some reason. It doesn't like go all the way back to whoever was sending me a package. Like it's not returned to the sender. It just will get on the plane, fly to Korea, get scanned in, and then get put back on a plane, go all the way back to the US, and then sit there for a while and then later be put back on a plane to Korea. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. It's happened a couple of times, but still don't have a journal after I ordered it in the very beginning of December, like December 3rd. And it took them until like January 4th or something like that to deliver it. And I don't even think it was shipped out till like the middle of December. And then now I'm just dealing with the issues of getting it sent here in Korea, and it's driving me crazy because I think my brain just doesn't recognize that it's the new year and I need to get started on stuff until I have filled out this journal and started it. And already I'm having to like cut things out of my journal because usually I would do a bunch of trackers for the whole year, but because it's already like most of the way through January, I haven't gotten to track anything all month. So I'm like, do I really want to include these trackers and just not put January in? or like just not include any of these trackers at all. I don't know. It's already affecting everything and it's making me so annoyed. Oh my gosh. Are you like that? Like, can you start a new year fresh and be excited for it no matter what? Or do you have like specific things you need to do? Like maybe fill out a journal or something like that, go someplace specific. And if it doesn't happen, then you're like, this isn't right. Like, I feel like I'm that person. I need it to go okay for the first like couple weeks, and like everything is amazing and good. And like if that doesn't happen, then I'm just like, what the heck is this? This is not a new year. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. So yeah, it's not the same as last year. It's a different feeling. It's not as bad as last year and the beginning of last year, but still stressful that I haven't gotten to start the year off right. Oh my gosh. I just don't even know. I don't know. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about? My doctor's appointment. I had my first appointment here in Korea. That was also very stressful because my other doctors had never sent me the scans of my MRIs like they were supposed to. They just sent me kind of like written out stuff that says I have MS. It was like saying, I think, where my lesions are in my brain and my spine. But when I got to the doctor, they like didn't want to read any of that. Even the blood tests I had a bunch of blood tests before I left to make sure it was all taken care of and done. And when I got here, I didn't expect to have to do any blood tests because I just did them. But even those, the doctor was like, you're just going to redo them. And I'm like, but in the US, I wasn't paying for these. And here I'm paying for them. So like I just got them done. And they were not interested. They were just like, you're redoing them. So that made me annoyed. The MRI stuff, they didn't want to read anything. They were just like, you're going to have to go have new MRIs. And unfortunately, the MRIs in Korea are not really covered by insurance, especially the spine one. And the spine one is like over $1,000. And that's for like one part of your spine. And I would need a couple different, like at least like thoracic and lumbar. They might do a separate one for cervical too. So that's like a few $1,000s. And I'm pretty sure I need scans done. I don't remember if it's once a year or like twice a year. So the fact that I'd have to pay that every year is just so. I usually am such a fan of Korean healthcare, how cheap it is, how easy it is to get in to see the doctor, how much everything is covered. I mean, I usually don't pay, I either don't pay anything or I pay like $1. I remember one time not having insurance and I went to the doctor and they were freaking out because they were like, this is so expensive. I'm so sorry. And the nurses that were like trying to get everything settled were like, I really apologize. It's going to be so much money. And I'm thinking it's going to be this huge expensive bill. And it was like $20. And that was enough to make everybody panic and apologize to me because it was so expensive. And that was without insurance for like a whole, like I did a bunch of stuff. And I don't know. So just dealing with this now and realizing like, oh, this part is not going to be good because these specific things are not covered really in Korea, which it's because they have to follow the US system with some of these things, but it just affects the way the healthcare is done and stuff with some of these things I have to have done. So yeah, they were like, you got to do these scans again. I did do a brain MRI yesterday. So I did do that scan, but I'm trying to wait for the spine scan just because or the spinal MRI, just because that is so expensive. And the doctor in the US did finally send me some images, but I don't know what to do with them because the hospitals here won't take an email. They won't like look at it on my phone or anything. Like you have to put it on a CD, has to be a specific file type. And I don't even know how to get these things on a CD because the way that they sent these images to me is like almost through like an app or something. It's so confusing. I don't know. And when I tried to contact the doctors in the US, they were like, well, we could send a CD possibly, but it's probably going to take like a month to get here. and that's hoping that nothing goes wrong with the shipment. That's hoping that it doesn't get like broken or something on the way here. So yeah, it's been stressful. Again, still not as bad as the beginning of last year, but just having to deal with this now is very stressful. So I kind of have to wait for all that to be dealt with before I can start a treatment plan here. But still hopeful that things are going to work out. Anyway, that was like a bad note to leave this on, I guess, but that's just all I wanted to do was catch up with you, show you kind of the beginning of being here, which mostly we just went out and ate some stuff we had been wanting to eat. We had like barbecue, we went out for lamb skewers, stuff like that. Just had like a chill kind of time together as a family. We did karaoke, so we went to like the Noraebang and stuff. The kids really enjoyed that. And yeah, now I'm just just dealing with all the health issues that 2025 left me with. Yay. But yeah, we are finally going to try to get this year started. I'm going to drink my coffee and get going to book club, and hopefully our next video will be book club and just kind of a cozy time in Korea, and then, you know, possibly my journal will be here. Like I can get going. I can get started with the year even though it's almost February. But it's okay. We're gonna pretend that it's fine. It's totally fine that we missed like all of January. It's fine. But anyway, I'm gonna drink my coffee, have a nice little cozy next, I don't know, 40 minutes before I have to leave, and I will see you guys next time.